Hi, I'm Cindy Halpern, and I've learned a lesson as I've gotten older. I'm in my mid-50s. My parents had 4 children. I had a much older sister. She was 10 years older. She was mildly retarded. And I had 2 brothers closer to my age, and they both had muscular dystrophy. But I grew up with my brothers. But as they got worse, I had to learn to do things on my own. I remember going to the Legion bowling alley myself, and then when Stewie, my younger brother, couldn't walk anymore, I would go to the movies myself, and I learned to do more things myself. And then, when they passed away, I had been married, and I ended up getting divorced, and I was pregnant with my daughter through the divorce. And then there was Robin, who's my daughter and my mom. I lived with my mom through my divorce, and then Rob and I moved on our own, and then I remarried, and then there was my second husband and my daughter. And then when I got divorced, my daughter and son-in-law and grandson did live with me for a short time, but then they went on their own, and then they eventually moved to Florida. And then I had apartments in Florida for the winter time. I wintered there, and now that part's over, and my daughter's moving to Oregon, and I do live with my boyfriend, but he's self-employed. And I find that I have to spend more time by myself. And as you get older, you learn to do this, even if you haven't had all the tragedies I've had in my life with disease and death and premature deaths of younger family members. When you get to hit middle age and your kids have left the nest, and perhaps you are divorced, or you and your husband have grown apart, or maybe you and your husband are intact, but you've got different interests, you find that you have to learn to keep yourself company. It doesn't mean to be antisocial. You still have your friends, of course, if you have living relatives. But the majority of the time, if you're still not working, you're on your own. And you have to learn that. A lot of women who have been dependent on men their whole lives and their husbands die, they learn this lesson. Or men who are widowed or divorced and who left everything to the wife to do, they have to learn to cook and sew and shop, and even child care if they have minor children that they have joint custody with. It's a hard lesson to learn. It's not what I would choose, but it is what it is. And I learned to be independent and do a lot of things myself. I don't ordinarily ask for a lot of help unless I really, really need it. I'd like to be self-sufficient in many ways. And as you get older, this is what happens, especially if you're a woman. The statistics say that we're going to outlive men, and the statistics also bear out divorce. So a lot more women are going to be on their own, and they just have to learn creative ways to do that. Recently I ate in a restaurant by myself. I've always avoided this. I've always hated this. But if I want to go out to eat and there's no one available to go and I want to do it, I have to do it myself, and it's not great. I don't enjoy it, especially when they clear the table off or a setting for one. You feel it, and you look around, you see all couples, even if it's friends, not couples per se, you feel it. But that's what it means, and you just have to learn creative ways to deal with that, and just know that you have to be your own best company, and enjoy the company when you have other people, but to know that you are on your own, and you have to make the best of it. There are some people in overpopulated countries who would love to have a little time for themselves, who not be crowded in. And like I said, this is not what I would have chosen. I grew up to be very family-oriented, but this is what it is, and I have to learn to deal with it the best I can.